In this episode of Seeing Sights, we explore a peaceful and beautiful Chinese-styled park nestled in Kowloon, but not for its nature and features, but for its historical significance and the stories it holds of days past. The Kowloon Walled City Park has a diverse and rich story, starting as a Chinese military stronghold in the 15th century and later becoming the densely populated and iconic Kowloon Walled City, where it became home to more than 40,000 inhabitants in the 1970s. How did so many people get to live in such a concentrated area? And what did life used to be like here? Well, today, we explore the historical artifacts, archaeology, and exhibitions here to find out more about what this place used to be like.
Wow, look at the detail. So this piece of art was done by some Japanese researchers, and it's actually a cross-section of the Kowloon Walled City from Longchun Road down. Really in-depth, very, very detailed of how people lived inside the walled city. It's really fascinating. And here, this is the bronze sculpture. And in the middle, they kept the yamen, they kept a lot of the structures intact, and they just kept on building around it, building up wherever there was space. All right, let's go check out the yamen. So this is the original yamen, which was used by the military at the time, and it was built in 1847. As you can see now, though, at the top, it says almshouse. Later, after it was no longer used for military purposes, it became an elderly home. And that's why those words were engraved up top. Now inside there are different exhibitions we can go check out. We can go see how things used to be. Let's go take a look.
One of the exhibitions is a modern historical timeline of the walled city, where we can get a sense of the Kowloon Walled City's rise and eventual fall.
Ah, yes. Here's the model of how the city looked like during its formative years. As you can see, this is obviously the wall around the city, but they had 4 gates, and on top of each gate, they have a watchtower.
This 330,000 square foot park was built after the walled city was demolished in the early 1990s. The issue of jurisdiction between the Chinese and the British made it ungovernable, as this plot of land remained under Chinese rule yet existed inside Hong Kong, then a crown colony. To give visitors a more immersive experience, interactive exhibits using video projection and audio recordings helped share stories of what it was like to be back in the Kowloon Walled City.
When it was later decided that the Kowloon Walled City would have to come down, in the process, well, they discovered interesting archaeological artifacts. In fact, right behind me, you will see they discovered the original South Gate. Right here on top, where you have the metal coming out of the stone, that's post-war construction. They found the flagstone gateway right here, where there's like a path for the south entrance. Even though the old city is long gone, it's good to know that efforts have been made to preserve the memory and the historical and cultural significance of the old Kowloon Walled City itself. Thank you for joining me on this episode of Seeing Sights. Safe travels. We'll see you next time.